So
But just
Biggs,
give
tell us where's the buy if you want to buy this in test on dips. Where do you want to be buying it on the chart? What does the chart say? Should
Is
you
this
be
in
looking?
test we're talking about? INTT?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, here's Robert's buy roughly around here, April, May. I think that's great. Would I bought it? No, because it's it was mired here for a while.
City chart,
But
yeah.
I'm just impressed
Loves those.
by, I sound like a broken record, but when stocks react well to earnings, that's a positive. And when stocks shrug or go down on earnings, that's a negative. I think almost unabashedly so. But what I like is the volume pickup. I mean, this looks like it's 4 or 5 times. This is the weekly chart that I have here. And we took out this level here on the earnings report, which is great. And I think this is a likely place to stop up here at 1435 or so, which is the 2024 peak. But yeah, and my mantra. You sell half. I would not. You guys do what you want to do. You have a double, sell half, let the winners run, because this is reversing. This is a long term trend that I think could take you back up to this 27 level at some point, given the volume that we're seeing and the relative strength. So,
Okay.
I wouldn't buy it here. I'd like to buy it within 5% of this 1088 number. Now that I'm back at the daily,
So roughly 11. Roughly 11 is when you start looking
yeah,
at it.
under 12 at least, under 12. And if
Okay.
you don't get it, you don't get it. I mean, that's just the way the world works. But
Right.
how many charts look like this right now in this tape? About 11, and he's got one of them.
Yep.
Right.
So Bob, refresh for those that are new. We've got a lot of new viewers on the platform right now. Can you refresh everybody just real quick what these guys do?
They make they're a little miniature $130 million revenue and market cap industrial conglomerate manufacturing testing equipment. So they test. They make machines that test circuit boards, that test batteries, that test semiconductors. They also have products that create heat and cold extreme levels, so you could test your chips and your batteries and your boards in these extreme temperature
Yeah.
environments. And so it's a testing and measurement company. We call it T&M in the old days. And it got very, very cheap because, as I said on the last show, and you guys broadcast it today, or showed it today on Twitter, I guess. There was a boom bust cycle for analog semiconductors. They don't participate in the data center stuff because that's logic, that's memory and logic. They're digital semiconductors, and the cycle looks like it's turning after being a wicked down cycle in analog semiconductors, in capacity expansion 4 years ago, 3 years ago, in pricing and in inventory digestion. So the cycle's now recovering. TI is their biggest customer by far, and is starting to rebuild its or fill out its fabs that were delayed from the overcapacity. And Teradyne and other semiconductor companies, equipment companies like Cohu are also big customers. And all those stocks have rocketed in the last year. Some double, triple, some quadruple. One of their peers trades at 25 times trailing revenues. It's insane. And these guys were sitting at 0.65 EV to sales. So a year ago, I said, screw it. There's no reason to start buying it at 6, other than it's stupid, bleeping cheap. And that's where I got my starter position. And that led me to follow it seriously. And to, when I talked, Cohu was half its price. Amtech Systems, another peer, was a third of the price a year ago. So those stocks have doubled in trouble. This has been a lagger until 13. Now you can say it's nearly doubled off the bottom. It's caught up to the peer group. That got me the first 75%. Now they have to execute. So they have a plan to make, I think they make over $1 next year. I think they make $2 in 2030. And if I end up holding this for 3 years and they make close to $2, not only will Bakesy's $27 price target be hit, but it'll probably go to a 3 handle on a $2 earnings number. So I don't know whether they're going to make $2. They missed this management team I like, but they didn't execute well in their first 3 to 4 year plan. They have a new 3 to 4 year plan. And if they do, I'll have an opportunity to sell 20, 25, 30, 35 in a year and a half because they'll look forward. So, yep.
All right. So we're selling TAT and we're buying Intest.
On the dips.
Go ahead.
Yes.
On the dips.
Robert, take a look at this. This is uncanny how this happens. This is the 2000 peak of Intest, INTT at 27. And then here's the peak again in 2023. And I can make a case. This is a pretty massive cup and handle that goes for a long, long time.
Right. So,
and you know, if you see 27 plus, then to infinity and beyond. I'm obviously exaggerating, but you get the.
I might be selling early at 27 if I sell the next 28.
I don't think he's going to be sticking around long if it's 27, 30.
Well, I might. Bakesy's chart got me intrigued about holding a decent chunk at 28 if it closes above 27. So,
all right.
Especially if you're taking the initial investment off the table, it changes the psychology dramatically.
Well, at 28, I'll have to sell 1/4 of my shares, right? That'll be a quadruple to take my money.
Beautiful problem to have. I love it.
So, Marcin, I got to ask, I'm going to change the subject on you. So we've seen some volatility and some selling in the markets last week or so. Looks like we're starting to break some levels. We can talk about those with Bakes on the major indices. What's on do you have anything on your shopping list? If we see another, 2 to 5% down on the major indices, is there anything you're kind of scouting to buy, or any of the?
I have a couple of stocks
medium big caps,
small caps that I'm circling, but I'm still a seller rather than a buyer. The average drawdown in a pre-election year is 20%. Excuse me, in a midterm election year is 19%, and I'm not buying a 5 or 6 or 7% dip. I shorted stocks a couple days ago, and I sold stocks yesterday. I am not. I mean, valuations are so extreme that things go from 7 times sales to 4.5 or 5 because they were part of a overbought, over momentum. I'm not interested in that crap. I don't do that. So I'm not like, you remember me pitching a company called Powell Industries. It was a play on electricity. It went from 200 to 150, right? And I called it a profit-taking panic. And it went to 550. So yeah, Powell goes 550 to 450. Do I think, I got a great buying opportunity? Bullshit. It was buying opportunity 150. I was an idiot for not buying the stock. Okay. So yeah, if stocks go down 70% in that theme, I'm interested. But that's where the value. I don't pay more than 2 times sales ever. Period. Stop. So if I have stocks that fit my names, you fit my screen, I'll buy. And Intest fit the name. And by the way, SimilarWeb fit the name at 1.5 times sales, and it went to 0.5 times sales. So I lost 2/3 of my money. Okay, it's starting to grind back, and I had made it a full investment at my price. I didn't make it a lottery ticket where I could have doubled or tripled it in dollar costing average, could have tripled my position. So I'm stuck with a $6 basis and a $3 stock. So nothing else I can do. But I'm willing to buy things that fit my formula whenever I see them. And right now, there's just the valuations are so like, I would have to see Belfuse, which I bought at 12, go to 100 to buy it, or 185, and it's hit 250. I'd have to see TAT go back to 30 to 40 before I buy it from 60. So,
got it. Okay.
Not a lot to buy under.
Hey, Bakes, I know how to push his buttons. I got him riled up there, and I'm with you on.
I like the fact that he stopped referring to himself in the third person and started swearing, making mom leave the show. So,
and there's always Crocs and Abercrombie, those pieces of poop that I could buy. Buy a 1% position if I'm itching to buy something.
All right.
But I do like this. Marcin has a discipline. Most investors don't have a discipline. I know exactly what I'm doing every single day. and I make mistakes, but I make small mistakes and I let my winners run. And Marson does the same thing, which is, I think, invaluable. You know, after 30 plus years of doing this, you say, okay, I've touched that stove. I'm going to stop touching the stove. And you learn how to, manage risk and take losses and what have you.